I've been unable to contact my husband for nearly 3 days. Even though he said I wouldn't reply for a while, my concerns were growing.
I was just thinking that I should contact the police when I received a phone call from a subordinate at work. Sure.
Brooklyn, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your husband was in an accident and he passed away. What? I couldn't think about why she was calling me at a time like this. I rushed to the hospital immediately. Thanks there. I saw my husband, but he was changed to an unrecognizable state. My name is Brooklyn, and I'm 28 years old. I work in an egg company and live with my husband, whom I married 2 years ago. We've been thinking about having kids someday, but not yet. My husband's name is Jack. He is 2 years older than me and is very passionate about his work. Just the other day, there was talk of him getting a promotion.
That day, as soon as he returned from work, he came running to me excitedly.
Brooklyn, guess what? I might get a new position soon. Really? That's amazing.
Akira might hurt the secret, alright? I'm really happy. It's been tough, but it was worth the effort.
Jack, you've been working so many weekends. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Yes, my husband was so devoted to his work that he often worked on his days off. He often returned home just before midnight because of overtime work. There was a time when I was worried about his intense workload, but it finally paid off. Seeing him so happy made me feel happy too. It made me want to work harder myself. But since that day, I started to feel something was off about Jack. He started working even more overtime, coming home after midnight on weekdays. Streak work on weekends, which used to be only a few times a month, started to increase, and last month he even went to work on Saturdays. Not only that, his attitude towards me seemed colder. We used to go out on our days off, but that stopped recently. Isn't that strange? Why doesn't he seem tired despite working so much? Concerned? I decided to ask him about it, aiming for him to return from his late work. I broached the subject. Hey Jack, can we talk?
Right, he certainly would then. Shoot them there. I'm tired and want to sleep.
Lately, you come home late, but you're always on your phone before sleeping. Doesn't that make you sleep deprived?
What are you trying to say? Oh, half of my free time is my own business, right?
That might be true, but are you really that busy with work? At my question, his expression briefly hardened, not missing a beat. I immediately pressed him for answers. I understand there's a lot to do with your promotion, but isn't this too hard? Working on weekends too often is bad for you, and isn't it a problem for the company to overwork its employees?
I had no choice. I'm not working overtime and on weekends because I wanna.
This bet seems excessive, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Eklund, you don't understand my job. Bunk butt in. When I'm tired and just got home, and I scored, act right.
Look at that. Jack stormed out of the living room. My feelings of frustration didn't subside. Just on that day, I usually commuted by car. I was involved in an accident on my way home from work. I was rear-ended by another car and taken to the hospital in an ambulance. I suffered bruises all over my body. After some tests, I was told to stay in the hospital for a few days. I called Jack to bring me some clothes, but he didn't answer the phone or reply to my messages. Why isn't he responding now that work should be over? Until now, even during overtime work, we managed to exchange messages. I kept calling him every few minutes, and finally, after an hour, he answered. As I started to explain the situation, he sighed heavily.
Wait. I can tell I'm busy working when I don't answer the phone.
Sorry, but this is urgent.
What do you mean? I was in an accident on my way home and have to be hospitalized. I'm in pain, but they say there's no threat to my life. Accident, ex-sisters, perspectives, and ask fate. What a hassle. Wish.
Shocked by his unexpected response, I could only utter, "What?" His relentless words left me speechless.
Just don't bother me with accidents when I'm busy, but busy. And I'm paying for the car repairs, okay?
I get it, but I need you to bring me some clothes.
I sure you do that. I'm tired from work and now we have to go to the hospital for some fool who got into an accident because of carelessness.
Van, why are you talking like that? The accident was the other driver's fault, not mine.
Enough naffering, I decide. I'm down with the heel, Garrett. I'm not going, and I won't reply for a while. Just deal with it yourself.
The call ended there. That's the sound of the disconnected call echoed in my ears. I'm at my wit's end. I realized I was crying. Why would he talk to me like that? Doesn't he care that his wife was in an accident? He used to prioritize me over work. I would have gone to get my clothes myself if I could. My parents live far away, so I couldn't ask them for help. Despite sending several messages to Jack, he never came to bring my belongings. On twin ways, I bought everything I needed from the hospital store. I tried contacting Jack a few times since then, but 3 days passed without a reply. Even though he said I won't respond for a while, I couldn't help but worry. No contact for this long is unusual, no matter what. Could he have been in an accident? These anxieties crossed my mind. Then there was a knock at my hospital room door. Can I come in? I replied, and there was Iris, a colleague I'm close with, who came to visit me. Iris, you came to see me. Thank you. I hadn't seen you at work for a while, so I called and found out you were in an accident. I was so shocked.
I hadn't seen you at work for a while, so I called and found out you were in an accident. I was so shocked. Why is it back?
What? Just bruises and a fracture, nothing serious, haha.
That's serious enough. Oh, I'm glad you're okay.
For a while, Iris and I chatted about trivial things. As visiting hours were ending, she started to prepare to leave. Suddenly, she stopped and looked troubled. Sensing she wanted to say something, I cautiously asked, Iris, is something wrong?
Wait, what we not the Brooklyn? I know it's not the best time to say this. I saw something. Iris,
I saw your husband, Jack, walking with Maria.
why? Was closed by but scary. I would miss this.
Maria, the person Iris mentioned, is a junior colleague at our company. When she was a new employee, I was her mentor. Even now, years later, we go to lunch together once a week. Why would she be with Jack? They last met at our wedding. Could it be since then? But that couldn't be possible for them, despite thinking it was impossible. The worst-case scenario crossed my mind. According to Iris, she saw Jack and Maria with a suitcase 3 days ago. Since then, Maria has been on vacation leave. Fearfully, I called Jack's, and my suspicions were confirmed. Jack had also applied for vacation leave starting 3 days ago. That moment, my doubts turned into conviction. My beloved husband and the colleague I adored betraying me at the same time. Betrayed by the two people I trusted at the same time. Probably. Jack's increased overtime and work on the weekends were to see her. Maybe they had been involved even before. Every time I recalled Jack's suspicious behavior, more things made sense. Ah, that's why he became so cold. It struck me profoundly, much to my surprise. Unconsciously, I found myself calling my husband. I hadn't contacted him much these past few days, thinking he wouldn't respond anyway. He probably wouldn't answer just a few calls, but I couldn't let him get away with this. I kept calling until he answered. 30 minutes later, Jack finally picked up, sounding annoyed. What do you want? I told you I wouldn't reply for a while. Why? Can't you even answer a call from your wife because you're too busy? Of course I'm busy. I'm working every day. Even though you've taken vacation leave until tomorrow, what kind of work are you doing? Caught off guard, he stumbled over his words. Still, he tried to deceive me, replying quickly. What are you talking about? I didn't take any vacation leave. Don't play dumb. I've already checked with your company. No, actually. I just wanted to relax suddenly. I've been chilling at home these past few days. Oh, with Mariah. And you even prepared a meal for me.
I'm with Maria. And you even prepared a suitcase.
Ah, that's Andy. We get him.
I know everything. And the friend. What say? Where? Just confess.
I raised my voice, uncharacteristically. Realizing he couldn't hide it anymore, Jake brazenly revealed his true colors.
Oh, see, you found out. I was asked my search. About my trip with Maria. I'm just asked me. This top bothering me. Brown deer and black rain.
I true. True. Wow, wow with Maria.
Isn't it obvious? He's younger and pushier than you.
As and athletics for categorize them. We should.
Hey, enough already. I'm enjoying my trip. Don't bother me. Netflix with Ernestus. Just I'll divorce you when I get back. So relax. Think Housley ends the call with theater.
Right after the call, my love for him instantly turned into hatred. I couldn't forgive this. Trade in the worst possible way. I wouldn't let them get away with this. I'll make sure they suffer in hell. This is how I decided to take revenge on them. But before I could act, divine retribution struck them. The next day, I was discharged from the hospital and could move around to some extent. I opened my smartphone to look for a lawyer's office to begin my revenge. But then I received a call. It was Maria, Chick's mistress. I was surprised, but I couldn't run away now. I answered the phone with determination.
Oh, so the butcher's bad pieces low.
Brooklyn, I'm so sorry, so sorry.
You should apologize in person. You know.
Yes, but there's a bigger problem now.
Boy, was Carpent?
Maria's voice was trembling. Then she said something unbelievable.
Jack, he's been in an accident and passed away.
Bratty do breastness with a ray.
I was too shocked to speak properly. Confused, I managed to respond to Maria.
Has passed away. What are you talking about? Aki's on a trip with you, right?
Yes, but on the way home from the airport, Jack was involved in an accident.
According to Maria, they were in an accident on their way home from the airport. Jack was hit by a car and didn't move even after an ambulance was called. Shockingly, the hospital he was taken to was the same one where I had been admitted. I immediately hung up and went to see Jack, limping with crutches. I was still recovering from a broken bone and had to move around with crutches. I had heard passed away, so I thought he was dead and was expecting to be led to the morgue. But to my surprise, Jack was still alive, but his condition was undeniably severe. Just after I arrived, Maria, out of breath, reached the room. When she saw Jack lying in the hospital bed, she was shocked to find him still alive, and she collapsed on the spot. There was much I wanted to say, but Jack was in a serious condition. I told Maria that we should talk properly later and decided to go back to our respective homes for the day. A few days later, Jack barely survived, but became paralyzed from the waist down, leading to a wheelchair-bound life. My in-laws, who rushed to the hospital, were furious after learning about the affair.
Retribution. Seeing her son. She's Jack so drastically changed. Must have struck a chord, but his in-laws were clear-cut in their rebuke. This is your own doing for cheating.
After they left, I called Maria and decided to have a talk with her and Jack. When I arrived at Jack's room, they were arguing loudly.
If you hadn't pushed me, this wouldn't have happened. It's all your fault. Sharper cheers and...
1. It was your idea to take that road. Don't blame others.
What the heck? First of all, it's because you wanted to go on this trip that we ended up like this. I peeped the whole trip, you know. I know be back my mama. Dave mathematical bills. You must a woman. You're at the main boat. It's only natural you should pay for it.
Don't joke with me. Who would fall for a guy like you seriously? This was just a game for me. I'll never see you again.
Please, what that thing?
Seemingly unaware of my presence, the two continued their unbearable argument. I reached my breaking point. I flung open the door of the hospital room, took a deep breath, and shouted at them, "Snuff already. It's because of your cheating that we ended up like this. Take your blame game somewhere else."
Bye, in Brooklyn. Hello, Nefko.
Brooklyn,
Realizing I was there, their faces stiffened visibly, turning in front of the flustered pair. I continued relentlessly. "Can't believe you're still fighting in this situation. Do you even understand the mess you've put yourselves in?"
I eat more brass trail. This me? That's why, for me, it's always been you.
What are you talking about now? We're getting a divorce, right?
That was favorite at me.
Staring at me with wide eyes, my husband's dumbfounded expression made me burst out laughing. "Wasn't it you who said, 'We'll get a divorce when we get back'? There yet. You want to stay married because you fought with your mistress. Are you kidding me?" Then, like I would spend my life with a jerk like you.
Flynn, why? Don't you love me?
Don't mess with me. Who betrayed who first? It was you, wasn't it? You talked big about divorcing, and now you want to get back together when things go south. I'm not as cheap as you think. If you understand what you did, then don't ever show your face to me again. I hope you regret this for the rest of your life. You jerk. My shouting left my husband in a daze. Maria was trembling, her face pale with fear. But later, I was discharged from the hospital and decided to return to my parents' home for a while. Eventually, through a lawyer, my divorce with Jack was finalized. I demanded a hefty settlement from both him and Maria, which they paid in full. I lost his job due to the affair. He'd been using company funds for it. Moreover, with his recent paralysis, he was quickly fired. All that was left for him was a lawsuit for damages from the company. Finding a new job in his condition would be nearly impossible. It didn't take long for the news of Maria's affair with my husband to spread at work. She was met with cold stares and couldn't bear the atmosphere, leading to repeated absences from work. Eventually, she submitted her resignation. I doubt those two will be able to lead a decent life after this, but I have no sympathy. They brought this upon themselves. As for me, I rented an apartment near my office and started a new life. Many colleagues approached me, some out of concern, some out of curiosity. My feelings are mixed, hard to describe, but such petty rumors will soon die down. Now I want to live my life, not swayed by others,